Decoding the silent language of attraction can be the key to understanding someone's true feelings. While words can be misleading, body language rarely lies. In the human interaction subject, subtle cues and gestures often reveal what remains unsaid. This is particularly true when it comes to romantic interest. Women, whether consciously or subconsciously, exhibit specific body language signals when they're attracted to someone. These signs are like a secret code waiting to be deciphered by those who know what to look for. In this video, we're exploring 8 unmistakable body language indicators that suggest she's secretly into you. So let's go into the mystery of female attraction together. 1. Mirroring. Mirroring is a subconscious behavior that occurs when someone is deeply engaged or attracted to another person. It's as if the body is saying, "I'm like you, I understand you, we're in sync." When a woman is mirroring you, she's unknowingly aligning herself with your movements, gestures, and even speech patterns. Watch for subtle mimicry in her posture and gestures. If you lean forward, does she do the same? If you cross your legs, does she follow suit moments later? Even smaller gestures like taking a sip of a drink right after you do or adopting your speaking pace can be telling signs. This synchronization isn't deliberate. It's her subconscious way of building rapport and connection with you. The psychology behind mirroring is fascinating. It's rooted in our innate desire for belonging and understanding. When we like someone, we instinctively try to be more like them. By mirroring your actions, she's non-verbally communicating her interest and desire to connect on a deeper level. It's her way of saying, "We're on the same wavelength." So the next time you're interacting with someone you're interested in, pay attention to this dance of synchronicity. It might just reveal her hidden feelings. 2. She plays with her hair. Hairplay is a classic sign of flirtation, and for good reason. It's a behavior deeply rooted in evolutionary psychology. When a woman repeatedly touches or twirls her hair while interacting with you, it's often a subconscious signal of attraction and preening behavior. This gesture serves multiple purposes. First, it draws attention to her femininity. By playing with her hair, she's subtly highlighting one of her attractive features. It's also a self-soothing behavior that helps manage the nervous excitement that often accompanies attraction. Pay attention to the frequency and context of this behavior. If she only does it occasionally, it might not mean much. But if you notice an increase in hair touching, specifically when she's talking to you, it's a strong indicator of interest. A gentle twirl of the hair around her finger often suggests a playful, flirtatious mood. Running her fingers through her hair can be a way of drawing your attention to her face and neck, areas associated with intimacy. Even seemingly negative behaviors like nervously tugging at her hair can be positive signs, indicating that she's feeling a bit flustered in your presence. In a good way. Remember, context is key. If she's generally fidgety with everyone, hairplay alone might not mean much. But combined with other signs on this list, it's a strong hint that she's into you. 3. She sets herself up for interception. A woman who's interested in you will often, consciously or not, create opportunities for interaction. This behavior is her way of opening the door for you to approach or engage with her. It's a subtle invitation, a nonverbal way of saying, "I'm available and interested in talking to you." Look for instances where she positions herself in your line of sight or path. For example, if you're at a party, she might frequently pass by your location or stand nearby, seemingly engaged in another activity, but always within your periphery. In a work setting, she might choose to use the printer near your desk, even if there are other options available. These aren't coincidences. They're strategic moves to increase the chances of an encounter with you. This behavior is particularly telling because it requires effort on her part. She's going out of her way to be in your vicinity, creating opportunities for you to initiate contact. It's a low-risk way for her to express interest without being too obvious. By putting herself in your path, she's giving you the green light to approach. So if you notice a particular woman seem to randomly be around you more often than not, take it as a positive sign. She's likely hoping you'll take the hint and strike up a conversation. 4. She comes into your personal space. Personal space is an invisible bubble that surrounds each of us, and we're usually very protective of it. When someone willingly enters this space, especially in a crowded setting, it's a significant gesture. If a woman consistently moves closer to you than social norms dictate, it's often a clear sign of attraction. Look where she stops when she approaches you in a crowd. Does she stand closer than others around you? Does she lean in when speaking to you, even if the environment doesn't necessitate it? These are subtle ways of creating intimacy and connection. By breaching the usual social distance, she's indicating a desire for closeness with you specifically. This behavior is rooted in the psychology of proximity and attraction. We naturally want to be physically close to those we're attracted to. It's a subconscious attempt to bridge the gap between two people, both literally and figuratively. However, it's important to note that cultural norms can influence personal space boundaries. What's considered close in one culture might be standard in another. Always consider the context and the individual's usual behavior with others. If she's noticeably closer to you than to others, and this is consistent over time, it's a strong indicator that she's interested in more than just friendly conversation. 5. She flares her nostrils. Nostril flaring is one of the more subtle and often overlooked signs of attraction. It's an involuntary physiological response that occurs when we're excited or aroused. When a woman is attracted to you, you might notice her nostrils slightly widening during your interaction. This response is tied to our body's preparation for increased oxygen intake. When we're attracted to someone, our heart rate increases and our body prepares for potential action. This causes a slight dilation of the nostrils to allow for more airflow. It's a primal response that we have little control over, making it a reliable indicator of genuine interest. While it's a subtle cue, it can be quite telling when observed in conjunction with other signs of attraction. You might notice it happening when you first approach her, or during moments of heightened connection in your conversation. Remember, this isn't something she's doing consciously, so it's a pure, unfiltered signal of her attraction to you. However, it's important to note that nostril flaring can also occur due to other forms of excitement or even anxiety. Always consider the overall context and look for multiple signs rather than relying on this one alone. 6. She gets you to pay attention to her lips. When a woman is attracted to someone, she often subconsciously draws attention to her lips. This behavior is deeply rooted in human mating psychology, as lips are associated with kissing and intimacy. If you notice her consistently bringing focus to her mouth area, it's likely a sign of her interest in you. Watch for behaviors like subtly biting or licking her lips while talking to you. She might also touch her lips more frequently, perhaps applying lip balm or lipstick in your presence. These actions serve dual purposes. They're self-soothing behaviors that help manage the excitement of attraction, and they're also ways of highlighting a feature associated with sensuality. Another common technique is playing with objects near her mouth. She might run a straw along her lower lip while drinking, or gently tap her chin with a pen while thinking. These gestures are often unconscious invitations for you to look at her lips, creating a subtle sense of intimacy in your interaction. Remember, individual habits vary, so it's important to notice if these behaviors increase specifically when she's interacting with you compared to others. If they do, it's a strong indicator that she's trying to capture your attention in a more than friendly way. 7. Pointing her feet towards you. Body language experts often say that the feet don't lie. Unlike facial expressions or hand gestures, which we often consciously control, foot positioning is usually an honest indicator of interest and attention. When a woman points her feet towards you during an interaction, it's a subtle but significant sign that she's engaged and potentially attracted. This stems from our innate fight-or-flight response. Subconsciously, we point our feet in the direction we want to go or towards what we're most interested in. If her feet are consistently angled towards you, even when her upper body might be turned away, perhaps due to the social setting, it's a strong indication that you have her full attention and interest. In a circle of people, we tend to point our feet towards the person we're most interested in or attracted to. If you notice her feet are pointed at you more often than not, even when she's not directly speaking to you, take it as a positive sign. This is especially telling if her feet remain pointed towards you even as her body turns to engage with others in the group. It suggests that while she might be socially obligated to interact with others, her primary interest remains with you. 8. She touches you with intent. Touch is one of the most powerful forms of nonverbal communication, especially when it comes to attraction. When a woman is interested in you, she'll often find reasons to initiate physical contact. These touches might seem casual or accidental, but they're usually intentional and loaded with meaning. Pay attention to the frequency and nature of her touches. A common sign is the innocent tap on the shoulder or arm during conversation. This could be to emphasize a point, get your attention, or simply as a way to break the touch barrier. Another telling sign is when these touches linger slightly longer than necessary, For example, she might brush against you while walking past, even if there's plenty of room to avoid contact. The psychology behind this behavior is fascinating. Touch releases oxytocin, often called the bonding hormone, which helps create feelings of connection and trust. By initiating these small, seemingly innocent touches, she's subconsciously trying to build a physical connection with you. It's her way of testing the waters, seeing how you respond to her touch. If you notice these touches becoming more frequent or lasting longer, it's a strong sign that she's comfortable with you and likely interested in taking things further. If you have made it this far, let us know what you think in the comments section below. For more interesting topics, make sure you watch the recommended video that you see on the screen right now. Thanks for watching.